Welcome back, guys, to the Behind the Food podcast. Today, it's just me and Daniel.
What's up, guys? You got us.
We had a guest cancel last minute, so we're going to do a solo episode.
Haven't done those in a minute,
Um,
so I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, we haven't. We were talking about the fact that we needed to do one.
Yeah,
So, topics. Ironically, I have a lot of them because, as
nice.
many of you know, I shit post here on LinkedIn constantly, and so what I do is I get on Instagram, I doom scroll to find maps of anything. And then I talk about the map in a post, and then people get really mad. It's awesome. Um, I usually give it a caption to make people angry, so that might be my fault. But
Hey,
um,
feed the beast, man.
yeah, you gotta feed the beast. You gotta feed the
Yeah,
algorithm. It told me what to
exactly.
do. I had
Yeah.
a post last night when I said the almighty algorithm has told me, has spoken to me, and it said, Jimmy, if you talk about the cost of living and you talk about a map, we're gonna give you impressions. And so I thought, what more? Who am I to say no to the algorithm?
Right.
The
That's
algorithm's
right.
telling us what to do. When you get on threads and you talk about what really
GLPs,
is GLPs, what
GLPs, AI, um, anything where you like rage post about GLPs works. Talking about ChatGPT or OpenAI in a negative light works.
Ugh,
Yeah.
don't be mean to AI. The minute that you're mean to AI, it's not good.
Yeah. There's
Um,
definitely buckets that work.
yeah, so there's buckets that work. We're going to talk about those buckets today. The first thing I'm going to share, though, is a map that I found, and I'm really, really excited about this map. If I do this, I don't really even know.
We're
Let's
learning as we
show.
go. There we go.
We are learning as we go, and we have Inception. Can you see
That's
this?
cool. Yeah, the inception happening there. Looks like it's fixing itself.
Can you see it now? The map.
I don't see the map yet. It looks like it's still loading up. We're getting there.
It didn't work.
Yeah, it's all right. It was just worth a shot.
I'll have to pull it up by sharing my entire screen. Right? That's how this works. Can you
That'll
see
work.
it now?
There you go.
Let's
Yep.
go. Okay,
There we go.
everybody. Rather than make a LinkedIn post about it, first I'm going to talk about it on our podcast. Daniel, this is a map of upward mobility inside the United States. Many of
Fascinating.
you have seen my other map that I posted about a month and a half ago of IQ. This map is the opposite of IQ. I I'm not going to make any kind of like assumptions about what that means. But I want to get your take, Daniel. What do you when you look at this map,
Yeah.
what does this map say to you? And why is there a red dot in Montana?
Why is there a red dot in
Up in
Montana?
northwest Montana near Glacier, there's a red dot. I don't know why there's
Yeah.
upward mobility there.
Yeah, that's a great question. So
Oh
lighter
wait,
color,
I'm sorry. Lighter color has upward mobility.
right. And the
Darker
darkers,
colors don't.
right, which is
Um,
fascinating. So
yeah,
we're
it's
looking
fascinating,
at,
right?
yeah, the southeast is basically impossible. Like you're just stuck. You're never getting out. You're in the hood forever. The trailer park is your home. You're never
Or
leaving.
if you're in Ohio, I mean, Ohio and
That's true.
Kentucky aren't much better.
Yeah. Yeah, the Midwest is terrible too, but then the Northeast, the East, and the West are pretty darn good for the most part. So I'm guessing that what we're actually seeing here is this probably something along the lines of this. Low cost of living centers actually have low upward mobility. So
That's
if you're,
interesting.
I'm guessing it's something like that. So essentially, it's like
But then there's
if you,
other places like Kansas
yeah,
where there's lots of upward mobility. I
I don't get it.
don't know what's going on. Or Utah. Utah people. So another map I had recently was Utah. Utah was the top ranked place on that map. It's
Yeah.
also one of the top ranked places on this map.
Wait, are we
And
looking at are we looking at red versus blue here? Is this all it is?
what do you mean?
Is red is are politically conservative areas low upward mobility and then liberal
No,
ones?
because Utah is not only the friendliest place in the country, but it's
Yeah,
also one of the most upwardly mobile. It's also a red state,
I
and
don't get it.
also according to my IQ map, I believe it has a high IQ as well.
I'm so
Um,
confused by
but
this
then you
map.
look at the American Southeast, and the American Southeast is conservative. Uh, hold on one second.
You're good.
Yeah, so and then you look at the American Southeast, and in the American
Just a
Southeast,
sea of just you're never getting out of the hood, man.
it's not upwardly mobile. It has the lowest IQ in the country. It is also conservative, but clearly being conservative does not mean you have low IQ because Utah has quite a high IQ and they're also very friendly.
I don't get it.
Uh, the
There's
cost
got
of
to be
living
some
in Utah is
correlation
also
here.
very low.
There has to be some kind of correlation I'm missing here, and it's irritating me that I can't figure it out.
Well, I mean, let's do some bro science.
Yes.
If you, I think, focus on the fact, I'm looking for this IQ map because it's going to be so funny to look at that and then this.
Layer that on top of this. Yeah.
Let's just like put them next to each other.
Yeah.
But when I look at this map, I think like you're probably right that it has to kind of do with the low cost of living, but you would think that that would be in reverse and that somehow like low cost of living and like low regulations
hmm
would allow places to be more upwardly mobile.
So Scott Galloway has a take on this, and I think it's playing into this right here. So his take is that young people should move to big urban city centers because yes, you have high cost of living in those areas, but you also have high income potential. So you can grow your earning capacity a lot more than if you stayed in your small hometown that you come from, right? So if you're in, this big southeast area and you're in, say, Antioch, Tennessee, right, where it's a kind of, a hood area, it's low income, low cost of living, but you move to Nashville, right? You have a higher earning potential and a higher cost of living. However, if you're creative with keeping your cost of living down in those urban, high income earning areas, you can build wealth really quickly. You just have to be creative about controlling your living expenses. So I'm guessing this map is reflecting something like that, but I'm also not sure it's a perfect fit either because like there's a lot of this map that may not fit that idea.
Well, it kind of does fit that idea when you say it like that, because if you think about it, Nashville is still not exactly the place where you want to go to like make
Right.
tons of money.
Right.
Like, and the cost of living is getting higher and higher every year
Yeah,
because
it's
it's a place
stupid now.
people want to live.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd
if
argue
you
it's
look
getting
up in
close to
the,
Brooklyn.
yeah, probably, but you're not going to make Brooklyn money in
Yep.
Nashville.
Nope. Which is a
So,
major
like,
problem.
yeah, maybe this map just shows the balance of like
Something like that.
earning potential and like cost of living, like the
I think that's what
ratio.
it is. I think that's what it is. I think it's a ratio of earning potential against cost of living.
Which would make sense why Salt Lake City is so high and why
Yep.
Utah in general is so high because there are a lot of really great jobs in Utah, and Utah did not get that expensive.
Yeah, yeah. And
Someone's
I
going to comment on this and be like, Salt Lake City is super expensive. And all I have to say is apparently the income is high enough for it not to matter.
yeah, I have a friend that moved from Nashville to Salt Lake City. And she told me that one of the reasons she moved was because Salt Lake City is one of the cleanest, most well-run cities in America. So in terms of
I
like
believe that.
yeah, in terms of like the government's management of the city, it's very, very solid compared to Nashville's just insanity of how we run things here. I think you're muted. Unmute yourself, Jimmy. You're muted.
That makes
There
so
we
much
go.
sense.
You're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
I'm trying to control the background noise in my
You're good.
house.
You're good.
There's a lot of it. So, anyways, I love the map thing. Like I love it because you like look
Yeah.
at it and it like tells you so much about like what is happening, or you could just make shit up and
Yeah.
suddenly people get like triggered by it. Like this
Right.
one, this other one that I posted recently. If everyone will reference my last LinkedIn post. By the way, this one I never even went back to the post to comment. I was like, I don't even want to see
What people are
the
saying.
toxic nonsense that will go on this post. So
Right.
2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, I posted a map of places with the highest rate of third marriages. So like
Oh.
places where people have been married 3 times the
Yeah.
most. And this is as a percentage of everyone over 15 years old. So it includes unmarried people as the denominator, like the or the numerator, the numerator.
I think. No, it's denominator. It's denominator.
Denominator, yeah. So the denominator is a very large group of people, but the numerator is like pretty obvious. It's the same for everywhere. It's like been married more than 3 times, higher percentage, been married less times, lower percentage. Overwhelmingly, the Southeast once again, because as if it couldn't do worse. Not only is the IQ and literacy rate bad, not only are these people stupid and they can't read, And apparently, what was the map that I just showed you guys? Oh yeah, and
Oh,
they also can't be upwardly mobile. The third thing they have going for them is they get married a lot,
oh my
and
gosh.
divorced
In
a
the
lot.
Bible Belt, which
Apparently,
is crazy.
you have to get divorced a lot. You have to
Yeah.
find that spouse that makes sense for you. No, I don't think this has to do with Christianity, by the way.
No, no.
Um, I think if people actually went to church and like did the thing, like there's no way this would be the case.
You would hope not.
You would hope not. You would be like,
Yeah.
okay, like as much as people want to like say like, oh, the Christians aren't like living the like walking the walk. I'm like, yeah, but the ones that are
Sure.
like
That's
it's the
fair.
way it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Um, this like any other religion. Like I think
Exactly.
highly religious places, like people don't get divorced. So it doesn't have to do with that. I'm just fascinated that it is a thing. What I said was I found it funny that the highest group. I've done other research on this that I found fascinating. The highest group among like like so the lowest rate of divorce
Hmm.
is among wealthy liberal people.
Yes.
So
Okay.
people that are worth more, well, I don't know if it's net worth or income. It's probably income. People that make more than 200 grand a year and have like liberal, like lean left as far as like
Hmm.
the political spectrum. Those people get divorced the least. People that get divorced the most are people that are low income, lean conservative. High income people
Yeah.
in general don't get
Don't
divorced
get
a lot.
divorced. Yeah. I was going to say that. That's exactly what I was going to say. High income people in general don't get divorced because if you had mom's a baller, she's making 200K, dad's making 100 plus, they're making
Everyone's cool.
combined 300.
Everyone's
No
happy.
one's leaving that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody is unhappy. And
Yeah.
money is definitely one of the top reasons for divorce. So you could also say
Exactly.
the Southeast can't read, stupid, poor.
Right.
now,
That's actually the driver. Right. That's actually
now
what's
they're
driving it.
getting now they're getting divorced more often.
Right, right. Where and you know it's funny. I saw an interview with Ryan Serhant recently, and he was talking about how low interest rate mortgages are locking people into unhappy marriages. So the
Oh
divorce rate
no.
is yeah. So essentially, the divorce rate has dropped over the past like couple of years because you can't sell a house, right? So if you're
It's
going to sell,
harder to get divorced when you can't sell a house.
exactly that.
Especially if you're both not high income because you can't just be like, "Oh yeah, we'll get another house."
And so he
And we'll
told me
keep
that
this one.
he literally has divorce lawyers calling him like, "Hey, how's the market? Like, my client's considering getting divorced. How are we looking out there? How's the 6 months out when yeah." So I was like, "Wow, that's
I mean,
craziness. Timing the market to
that
get a divorce."
that also feels kind of like a wealthy person problem, but I guess not. I mean, if you are in like a low interest rate mortgage, it can be pretty insane.
Yeah,
I have
it's
some
cheap.
friends whose
It's cheap housing.
mortgages are, yeah, some people's mortgages that I know are like $1,200 a month.
Unbelievable.
I didn't know that was possible.
Fuck you.
My housing costs combined, which I rent out my house in Nashville, but I won't have a renter in there in January. My housing costs are north of $8,000. So I understand that you'd want to stay
Right.
in that cheap mortgage. That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Don't get divorced.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You'll end up with
Yeah.
two houses like me and then be like, I gotta pay for both of these and
Right.
child support. Oh
Right.
no.
Yeah.
What do
What
I
was that?
do?
It's like the reverse double income, no kids. It's like the absolute inverse of that.
The inverse, you have to support a second family.
Yeah.
You have
And
lots of
another
kids.
house.
Yeah, and another house. I gotta put them in a different house.
So
Um,
my brother worked at Nissan for a minute on the line at the plant, and you have a lot of Laotians working there, making really good money. They're actually making six figures with their overtime, right? Right. But these guys are net worth poor because they have been married three times and they're supporting three baby mamas, right? So to your point about the Southeast, like that's part of the problem.
that feels like it's definitely part of the problem. In
Yeah.
my post the other day on LinkedIn, I tried to relate it back to the fact that Donald Trump's had three wives, and that's probably why people got mad.
Well, sure.
I will point out again, though, Scott Galloway, as you said this first, not me,
Right.
Professor G. Thank you for
Right.
giving me this line. He said, "It's frustrating that the Democratic Party doesn't call itself the party of family values when more of its leadership is married with kids,
Yeah.
married one time with kids."
Right.
And we have a president of the White House who's been married multiple times and had multiple children with multiple women,
Right.
and potentially raped some kids. So I think that he's right, and there should be a rebrand. But you'd have to have people stop being like, "We got to transition kids." Let me trigger everyone. I'm going to talk about all the things that make everybody mad. Stop saying you got to transition kids, Gavin Newsom. It's not popular. Maybe you shouldn't say that. Maybe instead you should say, I have 5 kids and I've been married one
Right.
time and Donald Trump's been married 12 times. That's
Right.
not true either. But
But yeah, you get the
I
idea.
think everybody gets the point. Everyone gets the idea. It is funny though to me because I'm like, these people are really good. Like the way I ended my post was they're so good at brand and marketing that both parties have convinced people that they're about things at which they don't actually do in the daytime. Like
Right.
if you're a married father of 5, but you're like, I love like all these things that have nothing to do with my life. I'm like, that's so interesting that you're a LARPer. Similarly, like Donald Trump is just like, I have a great relationship with Jesus. He loves me. In fact, he might call me to replace him.
Right.
I'll be the new Jesus. You don't need him anymore. We got
You get my
me. I
you get
you
my
got
my
Trump
Trump Bible,
Jesus.
gold Bible.
Yeah, Trump Golden Bible. And it's like, dude, you're LARPing. Like
Yep.
just be who you are. Like
Get
actually
it.
you'd be better suited to being a Democrat. I don't know what's happening here. Everything got real confusing. And now it's just all marketing and brand. It's like I
Get it
say
at
this, I do
trump2030.com.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say this, I do this. They're completely different things. My actions will never represent my words, or vice versa. But hey,
Yeah.
we're here.
The
I
Democrats
find
have a
it fascinating.
branding problem, definitely. But
The huge branding.
they also have just obviously right now they have a direction and strategy and like platform problem. Like they just need to come up with really solid solutions to affordability and they win. It's that simple. Just solve affordability and you win everywhere. That's either party right now. If either party just dials in on affordability and messages in a way that resonates with people, they win.
I think they'll take a playbook, or I think they'll take the playbook though from the Republicans' campaign in 2024, and unfortunately, they will say all the right things, and then they won't do anything. And I think
Right.
both parties will now do that because what they saw in 2024, and I think, oh no, Daniel's recording stopped. Well,
I'm
I
back. I'm
was,
back.
oh, it's
Sorry.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
What I was saying is, I think that they'll both take the playbook that worked, which was you can lie to the American public, you can market, you can create brand, and then you can proceed to trick people and to just believing you. It's fascinating. It doesn't
It
make any
is.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, I
We're good.
anyways,
Just keep
my
rolling.
kids are insane.
It's all good.
It's the week of Christmas, everybody.
Yes, it is.
Every parent out there feels the way I do. This is how you feel. I love my kids, but, and then they'll follow that up with, my kid knocked over my Christmas tree yesterday. My kid broke my TV. My
Right.
kid decided to turn my living room into a bounce house. Like
Right.
what are we doing?
Right.
Stop. Like, stop
Right.
doing crazy shit in my house. Actually, it's the worst part about winter because I'm like, I just want to send you outside. I just want
Right.
you
Yeah.
outside,
Right.
not be inside. I'm convinced this is why people have less kids because we're now encouraged to watch them 24/7. And when I was a kid, we did not watch kids 24/7. In fact, it was encouraged that you leave and don't come back.
Right. Don't
Come
come
back
back
like
until the
10.
street lights turn on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
it's like 10 hours later. Like
Yeah.
that's the way that it technically was, and now it's not.
You had two different kinds of childhoods when we were kids. One, you either were the city kid who didn't come back till the street lights turned on, or you were like me, grew up in the country and you were just outside all the time and you lived on
Yeah.
like 6 acres, 10 acres, whatever. So
You
it didn't
didn't come
matter.
back until the sun came down. It's
Yeah.
different,
Right.
but
You
it's the
climbed
same.
trees and you fell out of trees and
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know what happened to that.
Yeah. So I think what you should do is take the kids in the mountains and then just like don't come
I'll
and
get you
just leave.
off. I'll
Yeah.
drop
And then
them
just be
off.
like, I'll be back in 2 weeks, kids. Give them a backpack full of food.
Daycare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daycare could be you go live in the glacial mountains and we see who survives.
Right.
Actually, wow, that brings up another topic,
Yep.
another recent news topic, guys. In Utah, all the good things I said about Utah. I'll preface this with like, I think Utah's great. It's a great place. People are really, really friendly, apparently. Um, that's well known. It's been confirmed. I've been to Salt Lake. I love it there. Uh, Mormons are kind of strange, but they all seem to be really happy and friendly. At the same time, There's a lot of child abuse that happens in Utah,
Oh,
and I
really
don't know
sad.
why.
Yeah,
The first time
very
I ever heard
strange.
about this was there was like an influencer mom or like influencer like parent that apparently like chained her kid up in the backyard, and the neighbors found out, which again, like this says a lot about Utah. The neighbors found out and saved the kid because people
Man,
in Utah are really friendly.
right.
So there are a lot of crazy people, but there's also a lot of friendly people in Utah. Now, recently, Megan sent me an article that happened like probably like 2 weeks ago. So this is like current weather that we've been having, and a dad in Utah went hiking with three of his kids. I think Megan sent this to me because I go hiking with the kids. I don't know if she thinks I would do this because I wouldn't. Um, so he takes his kids on like a mountain hike, like a real mountain hike. They're gonna hike the peak of a mountain. I would never do that with my kids. His kids were slightly older. I think they were like 3, 5, and 7. This dude takes his kids to the top of a mountain, and the weather report comes in, and they're like, "It's gonna be a bad storm. We're gonna get stuck out here." Also, like, I don't know if anyone's ever hiked with kids, but like they don't move quickly. They have
Right.
tiny legs. So you're going up the side of a mountain, they're gonna move real slow. These people get stuck out there for nighttime.
Oh no.
The kids all get hypothermia and frostbite. One of the kids' heart stops, and he has his 7-year-old doing CPR on like the 3-year-old, saying like this is gonna be a memorable experience. Like you're gonna get like some shit out of this. And I'm just like, how is somebody that insane that they're like they get into it like the adversity? Because there's this culture now. This is who I'm going to tie this into business and like what we do. There's this culture now of telling people like, yeah, adversity, it's good. It's good for you to like just like let your kid get hit by a car. Like it'll be fine. Like they'll get back up and they'll be stronger. Or
Right.
like you'll go bankrupt, but you'll be fine. Go bankrupt 12 times. Like it'll be fine. And like you know, and I know, like when you're living it, it's like, no, it's not fine. Like it doesn't
No,
feel good.
no,
I'll say to people, adversity is great, but adversity is great in like small doses, like exercise.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Um, Life-threatening adversity is not fun. It's not an adventure. It's not a story. Anyways, the police save these people. Like they sent a rescue crew out to get them with a helicopter
Wow.
off the side of the mountain because you like no cell service.
Yeah.
They're freezing cold. One kid almost dies. They take him to the hospital. Uh, this dad's being charged with like child abuse and like
I'm
all this
sure.
shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I wonder what was going on in your head where you
Not a
thought
lot.
that this was okay, right? Not a lot, but maybe this dude just been watching too many David Goggins videos.
7-year-olds, stay hard.
Like the where I thought about it, so this is where I actually tied it back to like what we do in general is like there are business influencers you see out there now, like that used car salesman. I
Right.
can't remember his name.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about though,
Yeah, I
right?
do.
The guy that tells people to take their shirt off. Um, he's
Oh
real
yeah.
weird.
You talking about shoot, Andy something or other?
Yeah, he had his kids take their like
Yeah,
shirts, like his
super weird.
daughters. My daughters have
Super
six
weird.
packs.
Yeah.
They're 5 and 6. Like, dude, what are we talking
Dude
about?
is
Like,
legitimately nuts.
that's a 6-year-old. She's
Right.
not making money. Like, stop. And she doesn't need to be here on the stage. You're crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're a crazy person.
Right.
Also, Grant Cardone. I have all kinds of thoughts on Grant fucking Cardone.
Right.
Kent Cardone.
I think I
All
found
right,
out recently, isn't he like a Scientologist?
I don't know what he is. He's
I
insane.
think
I
he's a
thought he was a
Scientologist,
Mormon.
man.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Grant is out here with his daughter on stage, having her talk to people about how she's like bought 100 rental properties before the time she's 15.
Right.
And I'm like, these are bad places to involve. Like, there's a line, right? Like, there are people like you should involve your kids in like business matters because you'll teach them about stuff. And then on the other end of that, you don't take your kid up a mountain in the snow to potentially die. And somewhere in between is this Andy dude having his daughters take their shirts off
He's
to
an
show that they
idiot.
have 6 packs.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
like,
just the exploitative nature of it is disgusting. And on top of that, you see, I mean, the issues with children online, period, and you know, the obvious that goes on with that. He should know better. You don't put your shirtless kids on the internet. That's just the dumbest thing possible.
on a stage, dude, in front of a
Yeah,
like sales training class to make a point.
absolutely
Like,
insane.
you guys are fat and my family's not fat. That's a 6-year old. She could do 100 push-ups. It's like, dude, that's not what this
That's
is about.
disgusting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But
disgusting.
I
And I
think
did
what
look
it's
it up.
doing, it's planting the seed into like all these other parents out there, like me, or like other guys that are like, I'm an entrepreneur
Right.
and I have kids. How do I pass this into my kids? It's like, dude, just don't.
All you're
You
doing
say
is
it all the
passing
time. We should tell
trauma.
people no. They are
Right.
passing trauma.
Yeah. All they're giving their kids is like years of therapy. Like that's what it is.
Probably.
Very expensive therapy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did look it up. Grant Cardone is a Scientologist, so somehow that adds up.
And now it makes sense.
Something
Now I'm
about
like,
his
oh,
vibe.
yeah,
He's got a
something about
weird vibe. Yeah. And
well, Daniel, you could 10x your business.
right.
10x
Yeah.
it right now.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Just think big.
just think really, really big. Make your
Right.
thoughts have to get large,
Right.
super large. Your thoughts should be enormous, and at the same time, you should just be 10xing everything. You drink water every day, 10x it.
10 times that. Yeah.
Food, 10x it. Exercise,
Right.
10. You
Sleep
exercise for an
10x.
hour, yeah, 10x. You sleep 80 hours a day.
Yeah.
8. 8, stupid.
Dude, I can't believe he
Exercise
built
one
a
hour a
brand
day,
out of
10 hours. I don't know either because I look at stuff like that all the time and like it go like just not even the parenting thing like that really bothers me. Because obviously that guy in Utah and like all that shit that like what they've done is they fed into that. The other thing that they've done is they fed into this culture of the whole like you need to own 30 rental properties by the time you're 30.
Yeah,
You gotta
which is
you
insane.
gotta own 17 rare fish in an aquarium and
Right.
trade them on the fish market. Like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about? Like, people are having a hard time paying rent
Yeah. Yeah.
and a hard time creating like a normal life where I'm like, you guys have made it out that like not only is everything good, but like everything is abundant.
Right.
That's a lie.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I have to like caveat that with obviously there's tons of opportunity and wealth out there. The problem is you can't get off the bottom rung of the ladder right now. So you can't actually access it. So it's like
Yeah.
to pull yourself up by your bootstraps is insane because there's no straps on the boots anymore. They had to cut costs in China, and now the boots come strapless. So, yeah,
Yes. That's
yeah,
actually the best way of that's the best metaphor I've ever heard from it. Boots do come strapless. They
yeah,
come strapless for like the bottom now. I would say if you look at people under 30, which is the real demographic that matters. The other
Gen Z is
ones
so
don't
screwed.
matter, right? Like the
Yeah,
other ones don't matter. Millennials were screwed originally.
yes,
Now Gen Z is even more screwed. I
they're
would say
epically
that
screwed.
we had a shot, right?
We had
Like
a
me and
shot. It
you.
was a bad one, but there was a shot.
Yeah, well, me and you and some of our friends are examples of like you have a shot, right? And like
Right,
um we also have the benefit of having like supportive families
totally.
and like support structures that make sense and like sometimes it's not even like the money your parents could give you, but it's knowing that like if anything bad happened, you could like live in their house.
Yeah, that's what real
They take
privilege looks
care
like,
of
is
you,
that
right?
support infrastructure. Yeah,
Yeah. Like you know that if you need help, you can call your like brother or sister and be like, "Hey,
they'll
like
help
can
me
you
out.
help me do this thing?" Like
Right.
that's so great. And like I think that like you combine those with a lot of drive and like honestly a lot of hard work, a
Insanity,
lot more
right.
than other people put in, and like you could create wealth, sort
Yep,
of.
right.
Um,
You
there
can't do it
really
on your
only
own.
no, you can't, and it did become recently that like I don't think you could build wealth any way other than starting a company. You'd have to get a really high paying job and like do investments if you weren't, but like I don't meet people who are under 35 doing that.
Yeah, and those jobs are becoming far, far fewer and harder to get. So like
They're not
that 400,
hiring.
yeah, like that 400K, coding job at Meta is gone, right? Like you're not gonna. They have those
It's
people
been
in their
hired
ranks.
for. Yeah,
Exactly, it's been hired for.
they're
They're not
there.
hiring new people there. Yeah,
They're not hiring kids out of college.
yeah,
I've been meeting more and more people that are like, I went to business school. I'm starting a CPG company.
right. Yeah, there. And
Why
the
did
crazy thing about that is like that just means more people competing for like VC money for like they're competing for this like smaller pool of X. And there's a lot of dry powder out there. Again, I'm not trying to like, there's a lot of opportunity, but at the same time, that means more entrance into this really competitive
The
market.
opportunity continues to float to the top,
Yep.
and the capital continues to drive downward. Yes, where people have a lot of it, they need to invest it. They keep looking for deals that are smaller and smaller and smaller,
Yep.
but it's just such a small portion of the population, right? So like 5% of people own their own businesses of all
Yep.
the people.
Yep.
Um, that's not a lot. And then you have to divide that 5% number up by like people that have scaled to be able to access the capital. And it's
Yeah.
like probably one in like 50. I'm being really
Yep.
generous. One
Yeah.
in 50 business owners.
I know a guy with a restaurant fund. They don't invest in anything with less than 1 million in EBITDA. That's super common. Like you see that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So you
that's
got to hit like
actually
a
like,
really big scale.
and that's even pretty small. So then you like look at that and you say like, okay, so if that's one in 1,000 people in this country, then only one in 1,000 people has a real shot at creating wealth, because one in 20 own businesses, and then out of the one in only 50, one of every 50 can access like real capital. So yeah, the opportunities are there, but like
Yeah.
not for you. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they could be there for you maybe. I'm not gonna like disparage entrepreneurship at all. I think more people should do
Sure.
it because
Yeah.
that would change that math.
Absolutely.
Um, you at least control your own future, your own time. We make about the same amount of money as our peers that are like in the corporate world, but we don't have to like get out of bed if we
The
don't
difference
want
is,
to.
yeah, and the difference is we're less exposed to the whims of the market to some degree. So yes, like you know, we make food, and food is affected by consumers, and all that. But at the same time, we can pull a lot of levers if we have to.
Yeah, and all of your customers aren't going to just like disappear one day, whereas
Yeah,
like you can like get laid off, and it will
exactly.
just be one decision from one person, and
Right, and
your
you're done.
income is gone.
It's a zero.
Uh, yeah, it's like something you definitely want to avoid.
We have more optionality in our lane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like
like
going back to like the toxicity, it's like, dude, like people keep telling people to strive harder, get the Lambo, do the thing, and I'm like, I don't think that exists today as an issue we should be talking about. We should probably be
right.
talking about like how to make housing affordable again.
Yeah, yeah. We need to focus on the opportunity side. The opportunity side is shrinking, and that's the problem. Like the fundamental problem isn't that people don't have enough drive or that they don't hustle hard enough. The problem is that the pool of available opportunities to climb the economic ladder are shrinking down as the time goes on. And to be fair, a lot of that is tied into just the basic math of like interest rates are up, you know, and that drives
I mean,
multiples down and things like that.
that gives me hope. Um, but I do think that when the interest rates come back down, it will once again like benefit the few, not the many.
It,
And
it
like
will.
it's very scary to watch the income disparity that has been created in America in the last 20 years. Because it's not something that was the case when our parents were our age, and it's
Yeah.
definitely not something that was the case in the 70s. If you go like 20 years
Yep.
even beyond that.
I blame Bretton Woods, man. Like you end Bretton Woods, and then the money supply just hockey sticks. And who are the people that have best access to increasing money supply? It's wealthy people, and that means the dollars that are held at the bottom are becoming worth less and less and less. They can't invest those dollars into the market because they need those to eat, so they can't capture that growth, right? So it's like, yeah, I think the disparity is primarily driven by a weak dollar, by an inflated currency. Now that's oversimplified because there's a lot more to it than that, but I think that has a lot to do with it. But the problem is we're so far down this path, we can't just undo it by making the currency strong. Like if we just sucked a bunch of dollars out of circulation, that doesn't solve the problem at all now. In
I
fact, it
don't
probably
think it
makes it
would solve the
worse.
problem at all. And I saw a really cool thing. I think we shared it with each other, but I don't think I have it. Yeah, I don't have it. Um, I saw a really cool thing. Uh, that was like the money's just been getting printed since COVID,
Yeah,
and there was
it's
tightening in
never
the
been turned
United
off.
States. Yeah, did you see the map? It was like China, the
Yeah.
EU, and did you send it to me?
No, you sent that to me where it showed like the U.S. basically had this like big dip,
Up,
and
down,
then
back, right, the F up. We're back about the same point, quantitative easing wise, that we were at the end of 2021.
right, and the rest of the world has
Um,
just been up. and to the right the whole time.
Yeah, the EU tapered a little bit, but not
Yep.
really. China
Never quit.
is just never quit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's just not good for people at the bottom. It's
No,
just not. It's not good globally.
and it's also like all the risk is now symmetric, which is a big problem. So there's nowhere to hide, right? If things go
No,
south.
there's nowhere to hide. And like, I think a lot of people aren't realizing that when I say like it's not good for like the people at the bottom, I am referring to most people.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you might listen to this and think, I'm not at the bottom. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Unless you have more than $20 million
Yeah.
liquid,
Yeah.
you're at the bottom. You
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
are at the bottom. Maybe you're super high earning. Great. You're earning in American dollars, which devalue every year, every second,
Yes.
actually, at this point.
Yeah.
Um, you could be like, well, I earn in Bitcoin. Good for you. Like, I mean, I don't make these arguments. It's like the person that's overweight and they're like, well, it's muscle. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Right.
Shut your mouth. Like,
Right.
the people that are like overweight, technically in the overweight category, and it's muscle, they have visible abs. If you don't have visible abs and you're in the overweight category, you're just overweight. And like, you can admit that. You could be like, this is just kind of where I'm at. And that's fine. Or you could be like, yeah, like it's definitely not muscle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm working on it. But yeah, for me, I think that like that fitness thing like makes sense in my head because I look at my life and I look at like the amount of money I'm making and I'm like, oh, definitely would think that I was doing well.
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
And if I'm not, that means everyone below me most likely is also not. Now
Yeah.
they have different cost structures to your
Right.
point,
More
less
zeros
kids.
on it.
They're like they're not paying for like private school or whatever it is. But that's not really the point. The point is that someone with my income level in the year 2005 would have been balling out of
Baller.
control.
Yep. Absolute baller.
And yet now, because my like it would be equal to like your income one year would be equal to like a normal house.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I if
Exactly.
I if I somehow avoided spending money for a year, I could just buy a house, the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Like I would guess like a 400K earner now is probably worth 1.2 in 2005 or something like that, right? It's like it's more or less triple, which means the cost
You're
of living has more or less tripled.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a really really weird dichotomy, and it's like um I just don't know when this gets better unless we like focus on the real issue, which is like people they worry about raising taxes because they think it will affect them. They worry
Right.
about like hurting the billionaires because they one day aspire to be one. They don't want to hurt rich people because they're like I want to be rich too and I want to hurt myself. But dude, you're not rich right now. I used to think that way until very recently and then I was like, yeah, I'm not like I don't think we're getting off this train. Like I seem to get richer every year and the bar seems to continue to move further away.
Right. Right. Right.
And I'm not making this up. It's like when I graduated college in Nashville in 2015, I could have bought an incredible house for like $400,000.
Yeah.
Really nice house.
Yeah.
That house today is usually $1 million.
Yep.
And like
Yeah. It's
that's
triple.
the housing portion. I know from talking to people who are older than me that have older kids that my experience with childcare is not normal. Like that was not the case in 2015. Those are the two biggest line items in my life. By the way. If you add up, if you exclude the fact that I have a second house right now that I rent,
Sure. Right.
that's a business. But like, if you look at like my housing, my utility bill, and my kids like school, like childcare, and I'm not even paying for childcare for the baby. So like, God help me when that happens. That'll be then I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm poor. If you add them all up though, it is well over 50% of all my spending. And well, I guess if you throw the car in there too, it's like 50% of all my income. Sorry, not spending. It's way more than 50% of my spending, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. Me and Megan don't spend a lot of money. So like it is like all the money I spent, and it starts to feel really defeating when you're like, I won't share how much it is, but it's like
It's a lot.
I spend more money on that stuff than most people make.
Yep.
And that's defeating because I know that other people have to spend money on that stuff
Yeah, yeah.
at different levels, right? Like your kids can go to public school eventually, but if you're like a single mom, you have to send them to daycare. And like daycares now are like $300 a week.
Hmm.
You do the math on that, that's almost $15,000 a year. 15 fucking $1,000 a year is a lot of money.
It is.
Like it's a lot. And if you have two kids, you have to spend $30,000 a year. If you're a single parent, that means that you're taking a tax hit and then you're taking a 30K hit and you can't get away from it. Like
Yeah.
you can't move past. It's like that. It's just that stuff alone. And I know there's like subsidized options and there's help and there's all this other shit. But I'm simply making the point that like, does that not make it harder to 10x your business?
Oh, right, right. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I was listening to the last episode of All In, and they talked about this for almost 20 or 30 minutes of the episode about affordability, and they mentioned the four buckets you mentioned, which were healthcare, childcare,
I didn't
college
even get to that.
education, and housing.
You got in healthcare, then it's just like shoot yourself right now.
Right. Yeah. Basic. And the funny thing is like, okay, so the and I'm noticing this now is that the top, 5-10% of income earners are actually talking about affordability a lot right now. The reason why they're talking about it is because they are scared. They are scared that if we don't fix this problem, they will be taxed more. Right.
They're gonna get taxed more regardless. I'm here to tell you and everybody else, I am so libertarian that it doesn't make any sense. Like I've been this way since I was 9 years old.
Right.
I really don't like the government. Um, Anyone that knows me really well knows that that's a fact. It's why I really don't like conservatives and I really don't like super liberal people. Like I'm a big fan of like hands off.
Right.
Uh, it's why the American Southeast didn't vibe with me because they love the government up in their shit. I've told people in Montana that and they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah.
Right.
Like this is one of the last holdouts of like, stay out of my backyard, please. Like, don't
Yeah.
tell me what to do.
You've got right wing authoritarianism versus left wing authoritarianism. They're both
Yeah. And
authoritarianism.
so you'll hear this from me and you'll think that's strange. Taxes are going to go up, guys, because we spent too much money. And the top end of America can afford it.
Hmm.
Like, unfortunately, they can afford it. Like,
Right.
I don't know how it needs to be implemented. I don't
Sure.
really care. You're
Right.
hearing that from someone who, in theory, I will pay more taxes. Like, I am the guy that will end up paying more taxes. And at this point, tax me.
Right.
This is insane.
Right.
You're turning me, by the way, over the last year, I've noticed myself just be agreeing more and more to socialism, just in general. Socialist ideas sound great. I'm like, sounds awesome. You know why? Because I look at other people's lives and I look at my life and I'm like, man, there's all these moments where like it would have been nice to live in literally any other country. And I know there are problems with socialized healthcare in a lot of other countries. I know there are problems with a lot of different socialist ideas. They're smaller problems than the problems we're currently creating. That's what changed my mind. I was like, you talk about this and you're like, yeah, the billionaires on All In want to talk about affordability. Yeah, dude, because they're not gonna tax you more, they're gonna kill you. like, like there have been communist revolutions
Right.
in
It's happened.
history.
Yep.
They can happen. I'm not
Well,
saying it's gonna happen here in
sure.
America. I'm saying that like
Yeah, you push it hard enough,
we have
it always gets
entered
there.
that trajectory.
Right. You
That's
you
bad.
you get in the trajectory we're in. It always leads to revolution at some point, no question. And I think that like if you solve those four big buckets, right? If you solve healthcare, you solve childcare, you solve college education, and you solve housing, all of a sudden the whole equation changes, right? So this is what I'm trying to like the point I'm trying to make overall is that whichever political party figures this out fastest and comes up with a platform that actually is centered around these four pillars, they will hold power for the next 50 years. Like they will be
If they
indestructible.
execute on it, it would be indestructible. If
Yeah,
somebody executed on it, which is why I don't think it will be the Republicans ever.
I don't either.
They had their chance
Right.
over the last 12 months. Like they
Yeah, they should
control
have
both.
figured it out.
Um, they can do literally whatever they want.
They just didn't have a plan.
Um, no plan. There was
Yeah,
no
and
plan for
yeah,
affordability. The plan was mostly to enrich themselves and their homies. And go to war. A lot of
yeah,
war. There's a
yeah.
lot of war involved.
Right.
A lot of money printing. As you said, like most Republicans we know that are our age are not pumped.
They're
Not happening.
pissed. They're absolutely pissed
Um,
because they lean
I
more center libertarian than most people would admit.
Because we're sick of the fact that our future got mortgaged by our parents. Like, and now I'm sitting here saying, tax me
Right.
because I have to solve the problem.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
you have to pick up the pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not good, but you at some point have to say like, well, the weak men made hard times. You kind of have to solve the hard times, and it's not fun. In World War II, they weren't like, yay,
So let's
like we
go to
get to go
war.
storm the beach. Like
Right.
no one was having fun. It was
Yeah.
not fun. It
Yeah.
was a terrible, terrible decade. Like from 1935 to 1945, millions of people died, tens of millions. And the earth was wrecked environmentally, was wrecked just socioeconomically, just a lot of trauma, a lot of problems, and it's like, but they had to clean up the pieces of what caused all of that, which honestly, all of that's similar to all the shit that's been happening for the last 20 years. Like, you guys are just creating a mess.
Yeah.
Stop creating messes. We have to
Yeah.
clean them.
Yeah. We have to stop the bleeding, which I think first and foremost means we have to slow government spending because that's where that is that is the bucket where everything's falling out the bottom, right?
That's it, dude. And then the other option, other than slowing government spending, would be, and I think this actually starts to make more sense now because we've just turned a corner. You see people like Nick Fuentes, who I do not agree with on a lot of issues, but on this issue and specifically foreign policy, we have a lot in common. On this issue, which is affordability, he's on record saying, "What have the Republicans ever done for me?" And like he's specifically being a racist piece of shit, talking about like white young men, but like I would open it up to young people under 35.
Right.
What has the
Yeah.
government done for you? And
Right.
it's like, oh, they
Right.
haven't done anything?
Right.
And the Republican Party hasn't specifically done zero, like
Yeah.
nothing at all.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's why they're mad.
This
And
is the
he
greatest
makes
opportunity for Democrats they've ever had if they can just grab onto it.
well, I kind of think that it's the opportunity to create a new movement
Right.
around populist ideas. Um, the Republican Party is not populist. They kind of stole the populism like marketing scheme and they used it to
Right.
get into power. Donald Trump seems like he would be different than the neocons, but really he is just a neocon who pretended to be a populist. The real populists, who are honestly all kind of a little bit anti-immigrant and a little bit racist, they at least care about what's happening to other Americans in America. And on the left, the real populists are like AOC, and they're like, we
Right.
should be like, or Bernie Sanders is a better example. Bernie has a clear record of being an independent, saying, hey, here's how we need to solve issues for working people. And unfortunately, those two ideas, they need married.
Right.
They need to come together because what will happen is we'll get rid of the racism and the psychosis
Right.
on one side, and it will get rid of the wokeness on the other side, and they'll marry on the issues that would help people, which is affordability, like socialized healthcare, pay for people's college. By the way, these aren't radical ideas. You know why? They have them all throughout Europe. They specifically have them in Israel. I'm not going to get that topic on my podcast, but you can follow me other places, and I will. Um, and they have them in like the majority of like the developed world outside of the United States. Just like people don't pay for education and they don't pay for healthcare because the government provides those things because it's an investment. Your people are healthier and better educated, then your GDP will go up. It's just always true. It's been true all the time. The reason America ended up in the spot it is today has nothing to do with the last 30 years. It has everything to do with what happened in the early part of the 20th century and everything that happened around World War II. And then we squandered since then all of it. We educated the shit out of our population. We like went on a rampage, and people don't realize this in the early 20th century because we needed better workers. So we educated them, made it really easy to get educated. We had the highest literacy rates in the world. Then we basically watched as the rest of the world decimated itself through two world wars, and we created global domination through our navy, and then created free trade. and then used it to exploit the rest of the world and create an actual economic empire, bigger and better than even the British's empire at its height. And we don't even have to take you over. We just have to like show up with a McDonald's franchise and be like,
Right.
we like to be Americanized now and send all of your money back to the United States.
Yeah, and
Like,
would you like your currency to be backed by our currency so that your
yeah. So
currency is worth anything?
we did that and then we squandered it. And the only way to stop squandering it is to continue to reinvest. When I say we squandered it, that's all I mean. Like, so we created a golden age and we had the ability to, we could have done socialist stuff. If you have an excess, you can then distribute it to people to make them better equipped to make more money. Then they'll pay you more taxes. And it's a flywheel, as they say, in direct to consumer marketing. But like, no one wants to do that. They're like, I don't want to reinvest in the American people. Fuck the America. We're gonna send our money to name the third world country. Like, what are we doing? Also, if we had taken all the money we spent on like the war on terror and used it to just like, I don't know, have free
Do anything
healthcare,
else? Right.
we wouldn't have like, dude, we could have. I don't think we would have spent $5 trillion. Someone could check me on that, but like, yeah, we spent 5 trillion, and
A
then
lot of
the
money.
interest payments on that debt probably added up to even more over the
So
last
much money.
25 years. So
Yeah,
really, what did we spend? Like 8 trillion?
probably.
Spent $8 trillion of the current 36 outstanding, or 32, whatever number it is now. 840. I have no idea.
So much money.
Do you know?
It's in the 30s. I don't remember the exact. Last I heard was like 32, 33, but it's probably
Everyone's
up over that now. And
you heard 30, 33. Let's look it up, Daniel.
yeah, the and here's the other problem right now. It's like we're getting to the point where interest payments on debt are becoming a real problem in the federal budget. When that becomes when that becomes all
Oh, Daniel,
consuming,
guess what it is now. I want you to
I guess
guess.
35.
38.5.
No. This is the problem is we just keep tacking on more trillions onto the end of it. It has to stop.
I wonder
It
if
has
it
to
would tell
stop.
me what it won't. I wish it
We've
would
got to
tell
be
me
adding
like per
billions a day at this point.
I want to know per second what's happening. Have you ever
There are
gone
some
to the
clocks that show it.
US debt clock? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
usdebtclock.org is really great. It used to say because it also shows debt, like household debt, and we have 1.3 trillion in credit card debt now. I mean, like, we're the dumbest. Like, we are just mortgaging this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to
Oh,
we have like there's a way out of this. You have to first radically cut government spending, and I'm sorry that includes the military. That's just the way it's going to have to be. And then you're going to have to um, raise taxes. You have to do both. There's just the reality. It's where we're at now. And then you have to reinvest in the middle class. Like you do all of those things, we
you have
can
to
get out
you
of
have
this.
we have to cut spending that has nothing to do with like
Yeah,
domestic America,
exactly.
and we'd probably be fine. Like,
Right. The problem is we're
do I
so
think we should
focused on
have
the
a strong
empire.
military? Yeah, but
Sure.
like the strong military should be like powered by robotics
Right.
and like cheap.
Oh, and that's the
It
problem is
should.
that we've built this infrastructure heavy military that now is vulnerable to things like AI, drones, robotics,
Well,
automation.
talk about why like the one of the only reasons I support like what Alex Karp is doing with Palantir. I think Palantir on the security side is doing some really creepy shit. They should stop. But as far as like drones and robotics warfare, they've done really good work to help lower the amount of money that
Right.
we are spending on defense.
Yeah.
You would hope, but that makes me even sadder when I see the budget raised for defense spending,
Right.
which they did this year,
Yep.
because I sit there and say to myself, that's not going to Palantir.
No, we have
That's
entrenched
not even
incumbents
going.
in the defense space and they're not going anywhere.
That's that money though. That well, yeah, but that money is going to like salary, like really big cushy salaries for
Oh yeah.
defense contractors.
Yep.
It's going to people who are like just raking in cash, uh, for doing nothing, for not defending America. That's what they're doing. They're making weapons that they can sell to Israel to like then replace and make more, and then
It's like that
it's a
meme.
money grab.
It's like that meme where you see the missiles coming from
Tax
Israel
dollars,
towards
tax dollars,
also
because
somehow my tax dollars.
we make all the
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, okay, we consistently spend money on things we don't need to spend money on, and we should probably stop. But then you see someone like Elon go in there and attempt to reverse the trajectory and completely failed
Yeah.
objectively. That's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. He definitely, I think he thought he could apply the Twitter playbook to the federal government, and it just doesn't work. It's not the same type of beast. It's a lot more uh, top down, strategic plan type of approach versus break things and see what is still working afterward. Like that doesn't work with something like the U.S. economy and the federal government. You have to be a lot more thoughtful and strategic about what you're doing. And
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
moving fast and breaking things doesn't work when it's like parks and defense and like people's like livelihoods and their social security checks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Slow and
yeah. The things,
methodical but intentional is the way.
yeah, things that people like actually need. Yeah, I mean, realistically, what we should have done is just gone into the Defense Department and ignored everything else,
Right.
and gone into Medicare and ignored everything else. There's like certain parts of the budget that are just
Like
bigger,
a black hole. Yeah. It's just like a
where you
black
would
hole of
find
spending.
more stuff to cut. You can't, you could definitely, the other way that I think you could like cut inside of Medicaid, ironically, is by switching to a single payer, like socialized healthcare system, because you would be the only buyer, which you ever get the government to do this, but you'd be the only buyer, and therefore you can determine the price. And you could say, hey, pharma company, you're going to charge me this,
Right.
not this. And like
Right.
for basic procedures, like we're going to lower the cost to basically free. Yeah. I mean, and you even see that inside the healthcare system. There's like too much administration, and like
Hmm.
that has caused like a rise in costs. Same thing with college. If you go to like the average university, they have way too much administration. It's caused a rise in cost. And if they were forced to get efficient, you can either force them to get efficient by giving them one customer. That one customer can bully the shit out of them,
Hmm.
and that incentivizes people who come in and do it better for a cheaper price because they'll get the contracts as opposed to the people that can't do it for a cheaper price. And then on the flip side, there's just the incentive of like the actual free market.
Right.
If it was an actual free market in defense or an actual free market in healthcare, or like I think about like all the places it can be more efficient, and you're like, oh, you would definitely make everything cheaper.
Hmm.
That's what happened with TVs.
Yeah.
It works. It just doesn't work when you meddle with it and mess with it. You either have to have complete socialization or complete free market.
Right.
Every time it's in the middle, like education, healthcare in America, and housing with mortgage
College.
backs, it's all jacked up. It just gets all frothy, and there's a lot of grift. It's not really a free market, so there's no like incentive to try to be cheaper than your competition. You don't really have competition. And then it's not socialized, so like you still have to make a profit. So you're like, well, I'll make as much as I can. So it really fucks people over.
Yeah. Yeah. It does. I think we are over.
I've
Probably
one.
should
I've
go ahead
one
and call
last.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Go for it.
One
Let's
last
do
thing I
it.
want
Yeah.
your thoughts on, Daniel. There's a thread on Threads that I saw. It said, I think maybe you sent this to me. I don't know. Someone did. Let your kids believe in Santa. After all, some of you still believe that diet sodas, seed oils are bad for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I
Daniel,
sent that
what
to
are your
you.
thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
So yeah, I think that it's really funny to watch people like Huberman dance around the issue of seed oils because he knows the science shows that there is nothing wrong with them. But his audience very clearly is very anti seed oil, and he doesn't want to piss off the audience. So he says very big, broad things like, "Well, I think that they contribute to the caloric surplus that the American diet is in."
Because it's easy to eat a
Bro,
lot of it.
bro, just tell the truth. Like, there's no science that shows that seed oils are bad for you. It's just not there. It just
Yeah.
doesn't exist. And diet
It
sodas,
turns
I
out that
mean,
humans are omnivores.
yeah. And diet sodas, yeah, if you drink like 2 liters of it a day, sure, it may hurt you. But if
Did
you
you
have
see
two of
this?
them,
They did the study where they like made it cancerous for like a mouse, and they were giving it like intravenously,
yeah,
like IV drip
they were pumping
aspartame.
aspartame right into the
Yeah,
freaking vein of the
you're
mouse.
like, I'm gonna give you as much aspartame as we can until you die. to
This
see
is the
when it
same
was
thing that
toxic.
Yeah, the same thing that happened with MSG. They created like the equivalent dose to us would be like giving a horse MSG. Like it was an insane dose to test on.
Yeah, I mean, I look at stuff like that. My thoughts are very much like yours, which is that yeah, you see this movement of like, I don't want to take the vaccine, I don't want to eat the seed oil, I want to like, sun my butthole.
Yeah.
But like that's not health. The
No.
caloric thing is health, or like,
Right.
don't eat too much sugar
Right.
is actually good advice. Avoiding seed oil is not going to help you.
No. No,
It's
it
just
doesn't.
not. It
Yeah.
might help you with your diet because you'll stop
Sure.
overeating like a fat American.
Right.
But
Right.
um,
Yeah, and that's
that's
the thing
it.
is like the problem is like over caloric. You know, it's caloric surplus. It's whack macros. We're over consuming carbs and not enough protein and fat, and we're consuming way too many calories. It's like fix those and then balance out the micros by eating your vegetables like your parents told you to, and getting
Yeah,
fiber in your body.
eat some vegetables, get some fiber in your body.
Right.
Someone needs to tell Paul Saladino, like, get some fiber, dude. What are we
Right.
doing?
You're gonna kill
This
yourself with
is
cancer if you don't have enough fiber in your intestines, bro.
cancer, or just I cannot imagine what you feel like at night. Like I just
Oh my
can't even
gosh.
imagine how bad it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, you are right. We are out of time. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that one last
Yeah. I
wonderful
like
time.
it. Yes.
All right, man. Merry Christmas. I'll see you
Merry
later.
Christmas, y'all. Yep.
Everybody, we'll see you after Christmas next week.
See you
Bye.
guys.